Details just from the smash pass from headquarters. So we find ourselves in headquarters and we said initially inside of your feet, so it's easy to thrust your hips forwards to get the top of your head to the sky. It's like you're balancing a water bowl on your head, right? If I'm on my toes, it's easier for him to off balance me because I'm not going to have the same weight on his heel. And then we said, I need this knee slightly on the inside. We do that for the purposes of smash passing, right? Because as I circle now, I can staple this knee. And here's the transition. This is where you had a bit of a challenge, Josh. I can post on his shoulder, which makes me really light. If I post on his shoulder, and even his arm sometimes, it's going to be easy for me to slide and switch to come through into the space. That was an over-exaggerated transition, but that's where you want to end up in hip smash. A couple of very common mistakes here is that people are very square, they're on their toes, and they try to put weight on the person's hip. It's not the hip I want weight on. I want weight towards his knee. His knee is the green zone. The side of my hip and the side of my abdomen here is my green zone. I want green on green. So I need to find a way to support myself and thrust my hips forwards here. So my green zone is closer to his green zone. If Kevin tries to move now, he's stuck. And if he opens that space up, well, thank you very much. I'll just go straight into mount. Cool? So let's look at that again. And then the importance of the underhook. So we find ourselves in headquarters, heel to bum, switch the knee to the inside, and then we find our hip smash. My foot is behind his knee for the purposes of this. If I transition the foot out and I haven't done the requisite work, he will turn me into saddle. If you do what's required and you start pinning and twisting, now we can step over. So now we have setups, for our bolos and everything else. That's fine. So for what we're doing now, the foot stays behind the knee. If Kevin gets an underhook, I can't be up here. I'm super light. Kevin's going to have a very easy time Superman punching with his underhook and turning into turtle to get his head out. And now I'm in trouble because one of my legs without a staple is in between Kevin's legs. So now he's got access to leg attacks and everything else that comes from that. This is not a good position for me. So if you feel that your opponent has an underhook, the least bare ass minimum thing that you have to do is to block it. So once we're in our hip smash position and he gets an underhook, slide down to the back of the thigh or the lower back of the hip. Sometimes, depending on the person, literally they cup their ass and hold it, or put your hand on the ground. I like this a lot better for balance as well, and it allows me to push my hips forwards and really readjust into the hip smash. Does that make sense to everyone? From here then, to get into mount with control, we have two options. We just cup the knee, and we step over. As I step over, there's two really important things that must happen. I need to start seeking head control. That doesn't have to be extremely deep. I don't have to force my hands together straight away. But I need to seek the start of a head control. And then look at my feet, guys. This is the next transition. If I slide this foot off now, he still has a chance of escaping. He can do the turn that we did earlier. He can start sliding his bottom knee towards his chest. And now he turns using his 3/4 bridge. And then he's out. So even though I'm starting to set up control here and I step over with my knee, look at my back foot. I keep it behind his leg so that when I step up, I have both legs on the outside of his legs and I can bring them together. And then we shall up. Then we sit. Now it's game over because under doesn't mean anything yet. So now you can even get your hands together here, trying to get under the chin, readjust control, and as we come up into now, that chin is pinned, and now you've got time to readdress the grips to fight for an underhook, re-establish your control. Cool? And then the second transition, if you know the person is really strong, even if he's got an underhook, it doesn't make a difference. Here, use your hand on the head to keep him down, weave the top leg behind, and split him apart. Everything else stays the same now. But you would use this against really strong opponents. Get your foot close to their heel, because there's no way he'll be able to bring that heel back to himself. If I'm here, he can turn me. And I'm off balance, I'm so narrow. But here though, if he brings his leg in here, he tries to resist this. It's just not going to happen. Here. And then everything stays the same. Start seeking head control. Step up and over that knee. Start bringing the legs together. Locking. And then come up into mount. Always focusing on trying to get under that chin as you transition from the shelf up into mount. Got it? Beautiful.